What is your American dream?
I'm from the Philippines. My American dream is to have a job wherein I can help people to achieve their dreams, which is the most important thing for me.
I'm American. I was born in New York, and my American dream is to constantly learn and grow and use whatever God's given me to help as many people as I can.
I'm from Belgium, and my American dream is to bring laughter and joy into people's lives through comedy.
My family background is West Indian with roots in Curacao, Guyana, and Puerto Rico. My American dream is to live in a country where everybody loves and respects one another.
My background is Irish and African American. My American dream would be to make enough to live a happy and fulfilling life.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Carmela! It's April 15th, it's tax day, and I forgot! What do I do? Help!
Don't worry. You could file an extension, and the extension lasts for 6 months.
Really?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
And most post offices are open till 12 o'clock.
Till midnight, so even after the show, I'll still have time to go run?
Yes. Just make sure you send it by certified mail, or you could e-file it.
Oh, I would have plenty of time then.
But I just want to emphasize, if you owe taxes, you must pay it today. If not, there is a 5% penalty per month.
Well, Carmela, I'm worried. What do you think? I've been paid 365 pretzels by Brad, a pretzel per day for my work here for the year. Do you think I'm going to owe?
No, I think you're in really good shape. If you got paid in minimum wage, you may have received a refund.
Hey, what is this about this minimum wage thing? I've never heard about a minimum wage. This is new to me.
Minimum wage is $15.
What? $15 per hour?
Yes.
Wait a minute. I feel like maybe I've been getting bamboozled here. I'm going to need to talk to Brad about this.
I hate to point this out to you. You're a groundhog. That's why you're not getting minimum wage.
Aww, I swear, that's not fair. Maybe I need to start a groundhog union around here. The problem is really I am the only groundhog here, so it's hard to start a union. I'm going to go talk to Brad about this. But
What's all over your paperwork?
oh dear, this is a remnant from my lunch, pretzels and mustard. But I'll clean this up. I'll clean it up that no one will ever notice it at the IRS. So now I know all I have to do is make sure I send certified mail to ask for an extension. And I shouldn't really worry about owing any money to the government. Okay, Carmela, thank you so much. 1040, good buddy. Ha 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 ha. Woo. Well, good thing Carmela calmed me down. And, it's really good to know that I'm not going to owe any money this year on all the pretzels I've earned. But I'm a little bit concerned about this minimum wage thing and that groundhogs never get the same rights as humans. Like I said, I wouldn't mind creating a groundhog union here. But the problem with that is that there's only one groundhog here, so it would be just me and the union. I mean, at least then I'd be president of it, but still. Anyway, happy Monday, Brad Squad! Did you miss Friday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Jonathan went out on the street for another edition of Citizenship Test 101. How would you fare on your knowledge of American history if you had to take the U.S. citizenship test? It's very interesting to play the game and test your own knowledge. Anyway, now's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy the show. And I like my joke, so I'm saying it again. 1040, good buddies. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome everybody, April 15th, tax day. Belgium Kim, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, how are you?
Hey.
You had to go to the post office, or you took care of things early?
I took care of things online today.
Online today.
I took care of things with Carmela.
Carmela did yours, Texas. Did she hook you up?
She did.
She did?
I'm going to go to her all the time now.
You know, it's very funny. When we were watching the Groundhog, Jonathan just says, I love Carmela.
I do.
Right, you just said it. You didn't have to, right? You love Carmela.
I do.
Yeah, she did a great job. Matter of fact, she got all her taxes done for all her clients early. She left around 3 o'clock today. She says, I'm going on vacation. I said, go enjoy.
She's definitely been working hard the past couple of weeks, too.
Yes. So. Got to say hello to Mia Montauk, Dionne Watson, Enkram Rizarf, Tamika Nelson, Jessica Leamy, Joelle, Christine Bennett, Anna K. Moxham. How are you? I said Tamika Nelson, right? Christine Bennett says, hey, Jessica Leamy, and Dionne Watson, Cordella Douglas, Wendy Brown, Marge Higgs. Marge Higgs already sharing the shares with us.
Yeah.
She's our permanent statistician.
Wow, we have quite the staff. We have a permanent statistician.
Yes, Marge Higgs is our permanent statistician.
It's true.
Whenever I need to know anything that's going on the show, I'm just going to turn to Marge Higgs from now on.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
How many people are watching? How many people are sharing? How many people are sitting while they're watching? How many people are standing while they're watching?
Right.
How long are people watching? Marge Higgs does everything. She does. Jeff Bosey, how are you? And I said Wendy Brown already. And Patroda Collins is here joining us. Kennedy Roy, Levon D. Tucker, Lisa Bling Rose, and anybody else I missed quickly here? Sankey White.
Jasmine McDonald.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Just a new one.
And Jasmine McDonald's a new one.
I hadn't seen Jasmine McDonald before.
What did Jasmine McDonald have to say to us?
She said the very, very, very interesting thing of squat up, family love.
Okay, so she's been watching, maybe long time, but first time commenter.
That's true.
Sexy Shan Myers, who is that?
Wait, we know this.
That's somebody else we know.
It's Shani
That's an
Bates
alias.
Smith.
That's an alias, right?
It's Shani Bates
Sandra
Smith,
Thompson, how are you? Marcine Frazier. JS says, I have a question. Do I post it here? Absolutely, you post it here.
Yeah.
And we're going to be getting to your questions very shortly. Ma4664 says, hey, Brad, back it up, Ricky. How are you?
Oh, is that Ma Dukes?
Ja Love, Donette Gray Downer says, good afternoon to Brad and the squad. I have to switch to YouTube because Facebook ain't working.
That's right.
But that's why we got YouTube and Facebook.
We got
it.
Baby Voice Grant, how are you? And Ken Kibitz saying hello. Yulette Wilson and Kimberly Moore. Who's Kimberly Moore?
I think she's our best, most favorite fan in the whole wide world, but not just a fan.
Not just a fan, but
a Belgium Kim.
But meanwhile, so meanwhile, if anybody who follows me on Instagram, they would know that I had posted over the weekend. The awards for the Webbies came out a week ago, but I never actually looked at it till over the weekend, and I was all excited. There were 13,000 entrants, and I don't know how many entrants were for the variety show, in which we got honored. But of the honorees in the Webby, they picked the best 5 shows in the entire world.
Right.
That's pretty
and
awesome.
They gave 3 honorable mentions. So we were honorably mentioned. So we are in the top 8.
Right.
According to the Webbies. We got
awesome.
beat out. We got beat out by some pretty good competition, Jonathan.
I saw.
Lucasfilm Star Wars.
Right.
Jimmy Fallon, Tonight Show. John Krasinski, famous actor for Condé Nast Magazine show.
Absolutely.
And then under
Viceland.
Yes, and I can't read the last one.
I believe it's Vice Live.
Vice Live, and of course there were 3 honorees, of which we were one of them. So I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I'm going to pat all of us on the back.
I think we should.
Yes, and hopefully next year we're in the top 5, and then we all go and walk the red carpet.
Hey.
You never know, right?
Hey,
right?
I like
that.
that.
I love me some red carpets.
Now, we're going to be starting a new segment right now before we get into the schmooze. It's called Squad Patrol. We are on the patrol. We're on the lookout for interesting squad members, people part of the Brad squad who are doing some interesting things or have some interesting lives or just interesting, period.
Right.
We're calling this Squad Patrol. I don't know if we have a card or not.
Well, we're not. Squad Patrol is a working title.
It's a working title.
That's
we don't have a card yet.
A spitball.
So yesterday on Instagram,
yeah,
I was sitting on the couch watching the end of the Masters. I thought it was really exciting to see Tiger Woods, come back. It's actually an amazing life lesson about persistence, and I mean, the guy was at the top of his game in 2009,
Right.
And then he had 4 back surgeries, 9 mistresses,
Right.
I don't know how many scandals,
A partridge in a pear tree.
right? And the guy lost it all psychologically, physically.
Right.
He lost it all. He was the greatest golfer of all time, and he just completely lost it all. And then all of a sudden, his camera's way off. And then all of a sudden, he's really made a big comeback. He's calmed his life down. Apparently, he has a girlfriend now. Family man, crowd loved him, and he was just practice and persistence. I was happy for the guy actually. Through all this turmoil, I'm glad. I just like to see a happy end at least. So I was watching the Masters last night, and I was about to get up and go. I was supposed to meet some friends for lunch.
Okay.
And on Instagram, I got a random text message, or DM as they call it on Instagram. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
I didn't bother looking at it. And then I get a second one. Hey, Brad. It's Mia Montauk from the Brad Squad.
Hey.
How come you are not friending me?
Right.
So I'm like, wow, I told everybody if you follow me on Instagram, I know who you are, I'll follow you back.
That's
I don't
true,
have a
you did
problem.
tell them that.
Right. So Mia and I started talking. She was down in Atlanta, Georgia. There was a hurricane warning, and she said she was kind of hunkering down for the tornado.
Right.
For tornado warning. And she was sending me pictures of her dog,
Oh.
who is also by the name Mia. I believe the dog's name is Mia also.
The dog's name is also Mia?
I believe so. Mia can confirm this.
Yeah.
So we have some pictures of Mia and her dog that she was sending me on Instagram yesterday. Let's see. But the machine is frozen. The machine is frozen. The machine is frozen. What happens with our machine is Julian, before he comes to the show,
Right.
he has an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Okay, nice day out today. He was out with his ice cream truck and the machine, because he takes his machine everywhere. Still a little frozen from the ice cream truck.
He's frozen, therefore the machine is frozen.
Correct.
I got you.
Right. He was dispensing. He was busy today on the ice cream truck, Julian. So now his machine is frozen as well. So we will get back to our new. Our new thing was, squad patrol, but apparently we'll have to wait for squad patrol.
Later.
We'll patrol later with Mia Montauk's dog, or maybe we'll just try this all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Julian, we gotta just pay Julian more so he stays in the office and doesn't go around on his ice cream truck
I think
all
that
day
he would
long.
be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think he would be amenable. I think that he would.
Because he even asked
Hang up.
if he could run the TriCaster from the ice cream truck remotely.
Can we put the TriCaster in the ice cream truck?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like,
God.
Julian. I mean, it's
extra.
it's too extra. With the ice cream and the TriCaster, it's one or the other. So we got to have a talk with him.
Yes.
Do we have Brad challenge, by the way? That's also frozen. Well,
we can't pull up. The thing is that we can't pull up a single image.
We can't pull up one single image. So what I'm going to ask you to do, we'll get back to Squad Patrol.
Right. Yes.
This is called doing a show on the seat of your pants.
Absolutely.
All right. And if you got any drinks, I would suggest start drinking it now. It's going to be one of those nights, right?
We usually have a bottle of something back here, and we don't this time around.
I'm on a diet. I picked a bad week to stop drinking and eating fattening foods, right? With all this stress of nothing working here. Why don't you tell people to share while I get ready to schmooze?
Yeah.
All right, Fam Bam. It's so simple. On Facebook, we want you guys to hit the share button.
It's apparently only one. It's apparently only one camera now. Yes.
You guys are gonna be with this one camera. Brad's gonna be stretching off camera.
Yeah, you're
on
supposed
camera.
to be stretching.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do instead?
Tell me.
We're gonna go completely off
script.
Off script.
Oh.
What we're going to do with that music in the background, everybody, is we're going to answer immigration questions.
There we go.
Because when I can answer immigration questions, everybody can work around me and fix everything.
That's a good point.
That's great.
How's that?
That's
right?
great. That's great.
And if we can't fix anything, then ice cream on Julian for the day.
Boom!
All right, so let's do something that we like to call, if you have a question, I'm going to answer it right now. It's something called Getting Answers to Your Immigration Questions. Let's go to Jay in Long Island, New York. Jay.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
2 questions. I'm asking for my brother-in-law who's actually in the process, and he's actually listening right now. The first question is, he got his visa in May of last year. He came in with the visitor's visa. He married my sister, and he stayed in June, basically within a month of coming into the States. He's in the process of getting the advanced parole, and he wants to go see his family. He's scared to travel because he thinks that when he comes back, they might stop him and send him back because of intent.
Correct.
Is that
is a concern.
So it wouldn't be.
He needs a waiver at the end of the case. 99% they can parole him in. They could deny him at the airport for misrepresentation. It's possible. You never know. So when I say 99% he's okay to travel, 1% he could have a problem. Yeah, but is he willing to take that risk? Because you could always be denied at the airport for misrepresentation. And if you got married within the first 30 days of coming on the visitor's visa, that is misrepresentation.
Well, no. He got married 3 months out. What he's scared is
the
visa in May.
Okay.
And
when did he enter the United States of America? Let's go through the dates exactly.
So he got his visa in May. He entered the U.S. in June. He left, went back, came back in, went to Spain with my sister.
One second.
Back.
What day was his last entry? That's all I'm concerned about.
I believe June 16th.
June 16th was his last entry on a visitor's visa. And what day did he marry his sister?
He married my sister September 14th, which was the 92nd day.
Then he's fine to travel on advanced parole. There's no intent.
So he would be good? Okay.
Perfect. Good to go.
Sounds good.
All right?
All righty.
Enjoy your trip.
I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister is going through the process of getting surgery. He can't drive. And they try to expedite based where the doctors know and everything that they don't have anybody else to help him out. Would that be kind of a valid reason to getting an approval?
For a work permit faster?
Yeah.
No, they're not going to do anything for an approval faster.
Oh, okay.
All right, unfortunately, got to wait it out. Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's go to Lisa in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Lisa.
Yes, hello, Brad.
How are you?
Quick question. I have 2 questions though. My friend, she was married but got denied of her green card, and she got divorced in 2017, right? But she recently get a letter that she should remove from the country in 2015, but she didn't get that letter in that time because she did move from the address that she did have on file.
Right. So she was ordered deported in absentia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was wondering if she should leave the country or should she try to get a green card on her own.
Well, how is she going to get a green card on her own? Let's talk about that.
Like if she could remarry over.
Yes. Okay. Yes. The answer is yes. You can remarry. It has to be in a bona fide marriage. They're going to request what's called a bona fide marriage exemption, because the presumption is she got married just to avoid deportation. And then she has to file a visa petition, establish that she's in a bona fide marriage, and at the same time make a motion to reopen her case because her constitutional rights were violated. How were her constitutional rights violated? She's entitled to a fair hearing. It's called due process. And it's not very fair if they don't tell you when and where to show up because they mailed it to the address where she wasn't living. So that's why she didn't know when to show up. So she has every right to reopen her case and every right to prove she's entering in a bona fide marriage. And if she needs help, you can hold on and make an appointment. She can speak to us even over the phone. Let's speak to Carlene in Boston, Massachusetts. Carlene.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, Carlene. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm calling about my case. So I applied for asylum and they denied. After they deny now, they give me a voluntary departure, which I found somebody that I got married with him, a citizen US. After 4 years, after 2 years, he applied for my
I-130.
130.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the issue. If you took a voluntary departure and you didn't leave, it turns into an automatic order of removal and prevents you from adjusting your status until you're out of the country for 5 years. It's actually, if you don't plan on leaving America, it's the worst thing in the world to take the voluntary departure because you have extra burdens on you if you don't actually leave. You're better off to just take an order of deportation. So now you overstayed your voluntary departure because they only give you 90 or 120 days to leave. You didn't. You stayed 2 years. Your husband refiled for you. What happened?
After that, he passed away. So
now you have to file a widow petition.
The widow petition, I tried to follow it. They denied and said that I missed the interview because they sent me the date of the interview.
You have a lot of problems. The problem is you've been ordered deported and you have no way of getting a green card. That's your problem. And you have a voluntary departure that you never complied with. So that's a big problem. Tell me what you think the problem is. I've already told you what I think the problem is.
I don't know what the problem is, but you guys know better than
me.
Okay,
so that's the problem. You got a big problem. Okay, you applied for asylum. You took a voluntary departure. You didn't leave. You then got married, but your husband filed 2 years after your voluntary departure, so it's already turned into an order of deportation and a bar from adjusting your status. Then your husband, unfortunately, passed away, and then something got screwed up that you didn't get a widow petition approved. So your problems go well beyond what I can answer on a live Facebook show. It doesn't mean I can't help you. I'm just saying your problems go well beyond a simple go file a form. You certainly need help. We're going to have to review your case and then figure out how we're going to help you. So hold on 1 second, all right? Let's go to Cashkel in Brooklyn, New York. Cashkel.
Hi,
How
Brad.
are you?
I'm good. I got married to a citizen. I put in my paperwork. I had my biometrics done on November the 8th.
Right.
And it's been like 6 months, almost 6 months, and I haven't received my work permit, my social. Should I be worried or should I continue waiting?
Well, I mean, you don't want to wait forever, but did you ever get an RF feedback that there was any problem with your case?
No, nothing. I had nothing after I did the biometrics.
Yeah, it should be in the mail momentarily. If you reach, 6.5 months, you haven't reached 6 months yet. It's usually about 5.5 months right now. If you reach about 6.5 months and you still haven't heard, then maybe you want to make an appointment to come see us.
Okay. Also, my daughter, he had both petition for me and my daughter. My daughter went and do her biometrics in January, and we got back a letter saying that she was approved, but we haven't heard anything again since. So should we wait as well until we hear back from them?
What do you mean approved for what?
We got back a letter just stating that it was something from the biometrics, but it was a stamp in the bottom saying that she was approved.
And that her biometrics were fine or whatever. That's fine. Yeah, just wait.
Yeah.
You got to wait it out. All these cases are taking well over a year now.
Okay, so anything after 6 months, I should get in touch with you.
Correct.
After 6.5 months.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Garnett in Queens. Garnett.
Hello, good afternoon, Brad.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I am a green card holder. I get it through marriage. My wife and I, in 2018, we had a dispute last year, March. And it reached to where I have to leave the house, and she didn't file any personal charges or anything of that. So she take out a order of protection against me, in the sense of that this order of protection gonna up this year, May, right? Now she go to the court or file a petition that she need to extend it because she fear for her life. Now I have a green card, and is there any problem by filing for my citizenship if she extended?
Yes, because yes, because you cannot become a citizen if there's an order of protection against you. It's automatically considered poor moral character. So you will never, ever, under the law, become a citizen if there is an outstanding order of protection against you.
No, what I'm saying, I get the green card 2017. So I have almost 4 more years or 3 more years to wait. But the The public defender says it's a stay away order, no finding, no admission. It's just a stay away.
So if you got your green card in 2017 and you
Yes.
can't file for your citizenship until 2022,
Right.
why are you calling me about your citizenship today?
No, I'm saying if it's going to affect me by getting a citizenship
Yes,
in the
yes, it will. Everything affects you. If you have, it doesn't make you a deportable alien, but you have to prove 5 years good moral character. So now it's putting off your when you're going to file for citizenship. You got to do it 5 years from the time the order of protection is lifted.
Okay, so she extended it now till next year again, so I have to wait.
So then you would have to wait till 2024 or 2025, depending on when it comes off.
So is there a problem if I travel back to Jamaica?
No, you can travel. You can travel on an order of protection as long as it's not you didn't violate it. It's not inadmissible or deportable to have an order of protection. It's just in order of protection, the law says order of protection, you do not have good moral character. So then if you need 5 years good moral character to file for your citizenship, you got to count 5 years from when the order of protection is lifted.
Okay. Next thing, Brad, quickly. She filed the incident happened in March of 2018, and she waited until December 2018 to file an assault charge on me. The assault charge is still in court pending. No, they don't finalize it. I'm still going to court for this assault charge that she said she filed against me. No, the reason why she said she filed this assault charge is that she was waiting until I signed the divorce paper before she filed.
Garnett, I'd be very careful what you talk about on the show about a pending criminal case.
Okay.
All right, but if you are found guilty of assault, then I would reconsider my advice to you. But right now, with a pending criminal case and just an order of protection, you're fine to travel.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Jess in Morristown, New Jersey. Jess.
Hello?
Hi, Jess. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
I have two questions. One is for myself and one is for my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the country since 2000. I came with my family. I was 16 years old. And we asked for asylum. We were denied. And I asked a couple of lawyers. They said there is nothing anyone can do for me.
Where are you from, Jess?
Albania.
Okay, and you filed for asylum and you were 16 when you came, you said?
Yes.
So you were already over the age for DACA. Your asylum was denied. When was your asylum denied?
Many years ago.
Okay, but it was denied when you were 16?
I was 19 when they denied it.
Okay.
But as a family, we had a family case with my other siblings.
I understand that. How did you come to the United States?
Illegally.
Illegally, without any status?
Yes.
Okay, and you live with your boyfriend, you said he's a U.S. citizen?
No, he's waiting for his mom is a citizen. He has been approved for I-130 since 2015, and nothing yet. He still has another 4 years to go.
Right. And do you have children?
We have 3 children together, yes.
You have 3 children together. At the moment, the only way that you would be able to reopen your deportation case to get a green card would be to have a green card immediately available to you. So that would be either you're married to a citizen or one of your children turns 21 and they're a U.S. citizen, but short of that, you got major issues right now, unfortunately.
Well, since I'm an adult now, can I ask for asylum on my own as an individual instead of
you can ask for asylum now because you've already been denied and been ordered deported. The best you can do would be if you have some sort of claim for a convention against torture that they shouldn't deport you. But then you better have a really good claim for convention against torture because once you make that motion, you're either going to get approved or get deported, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you do this, Jess? Hold on 1 second and maybe make an appointment to come see us, and we'll figure out. I don't know if there's an answer for you right now. I don't have one off the top of my head, but that doesn't mean if we don't meet, we can try to figure something out. So hold on 1 second, okay? Let's go to Jose in Houston, Texas. Jose.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, pretty good. I got a question. On green card holder conditional, I just had like 2-3 months ago, and I was arrested on 2004.
What were you arrested for?
Traffic ticket in court.
You were arrested for a traffic ticket?
Yeah, on 2004.
Uh-huh.
In 2006, I was arrested for marijuana and trespassing property. And
what were you convicted of?
I never was convicted. My case was dismissed.
Which one?
The possession of marijuana and trespassing property in 2006.
All right. So tell me what your question is. You were arrested. Your case was dismissed. Tell me what your question is.
Right. My question is, do you think I want to leave the country? And do you think I'm going to have any kind of problem when I'm coming back?
You have a green card?
Yeah.
You don't have a criminal record. That's what you told me, right?
Right.
You 100%? You're not sure?
No, I say I was arrested, but I never was convicted.
Okay. You could be arrested 1,000 times. Unless you have a conviction, you're free to travel. So as long as you're certain, 150% ironclad, you don't have a criminal record. And a criminal record means that you were found guilty of something and a sentence was imposed. That's what a criminal record means.
Okay.
So if you don't have a criminal record, nobody found you guilty of anything, you didn't take probation, you didn't take community service, you didn't pay a fine, because paying a fine is a penalty. As long as you did none of that, you're free to travel. Now, don't call me from the airport and say, hey, Brad, you told me I could travel, and now I'm stuck. I'm telling you could travel because what you're telling me is you have no criminal record. You have a criminal record, that's a different story. I don't have any records in front of me to look at. But based on what you told me, you can travel.
Even when I was arrested for traffic ticket in court?
No, traffic ticket's not inadmissible. They can't stop you at the airport because you're a bad driver. They can stop you at the airport if you were found guilty of possession of marijuana. They can find, shoplifting. What was the other one? It was shoplifting? It was marijuana and shoplifting?
No, it was in trespassing property.
Trespassing. All right, yes. Trespassing could be inadmissible depending on what you're found guilty of. But being arrested, you can be arrested for anything. Okay? Ask Jonathan, right?
Yes,
Jonathan, you could be arrested for anything, right?
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean you're found guilty of anything.
Right. When you're found guilty.
Right.
That's a different story.
Yeah, my case was dismissed.
Then we're all talking the same thing. Enjoy your trip. Hasta la vista, as they say.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
But I said hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista,
Which is
baby.
very final.
I meant to say hasta la vista, like enjoy your trip.
Right.
But it sounded like hasta la vista, like get off the phone, right?
Like I'm about to drive through my futuristic car through your bank, Mr. Teller.
Jose, I'll be back.
Exactly.
I'll be back, all right? Right. That would have been great if he said, yes, I'm going to travel, and I'll be back. All right. Venetia in Huntsville, Alabama. Venetia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Okay, so I have this problem with my son's dad who is in detention at the moment.
Uh-huh.
And, they're moving him from one place to Louisiana.
Is he's in immigration detention? Let's just figure out why he's... Okay.
Yes.
All right, so Louisiana, they're moving him, and I guess he's not bail eligible, is that... we don't know yet.
You
don't know anything. Okay. Why is he in removal?
Well, he got locked up about, I say, a week and a half ago.
For what?
They said he was drunk and attempted theft, but then they dropped the charges last week. So
Does he have a green card?
no, not at the moment.
Okay,
he
so
did a few years ago.
he had a green card a few years ago. How do you have a green card a few years ago? He doesn't have one today.
Well, he had a 2-year green card and it got expired. He and his wife got separated in 2014. And he never filed.
He didn't do anything.
Anything.
Okay. But so as far as we know, let me understand this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like our last caller, Jose, he was arrested one time and the charges were dropped, so he has no criminal record. Unlike Jose, who has a green card, he had a 2-year green card, but he never went to remove the conditions of his permanent residence. So what he needs to do right now is find a very good lawyer to file a late application with a very good excuse to remove the conditions of his permanent residence, and simultaneously make a motion to have bail set. And if they won't set bail, then we call in Abadir, who sues the government, because they have to set bail. He's entitled to bail. He shouldn't be sitting in jail. How long has he been in jail?
Going on 2 weeks.
All right, that's 2 weeks too long. So if you need help, hold on.
Okay.
Let's go to Michelle in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Michelle.
Good night.
This doesn't sound like Michelle.
No, this is her husband.
Her husband, yes. I was going to say, boy, Michelle, you got a deep voice. What? Okay, well, maybe he's Michelle. But he's not Michelle. No. Okay, so what's up?
Yeah, I was called as a Christian.
Yes.
I came here legal on a visa, but I overstayed my stay from 1999.
Okay.
But I got arrested. I was convicted already in 03. But
what were you arrested for and convicted for?
Carrying a firearm without a permit.
A what?
Carrying a firearm without a permit.
Carrying a firearm without a permit. Yeah. Okay. And that was 03?
Yeah.
And what happened since 03? You went to jail, or it was just a probation thing?
Nah.
What was it?
No, after I came home, that was it.
That was it?
I did
no other record? Just illegal possession of a gun? You had a probation? What did you have? Nothing?
I came home and I had probation, parole, then probation.
And they left you alone? Nobody called immigration or anything?
No.
Okay, and now you're married. You're married to Michelle, I assume, right?
Yeah.
And you came here on a visa?
Yep.
And Michelle's a U.S. citizen?
Yep, she was born and raised.
So why are you not filing for your green card? You concerned about this gun thing?
No, I'm concerned, but I want to file for a green card or some kind, you know?
Well, yeah, you're entitled to it. You're entitled to a green card. You came legally. You're married to a U.S. citizen. Your conviction happened more than 15 years ago, so you have an easy waiver. When your conviction for a 212H waiver, which is what you're going to apply for, in an adjustment of status.
Excuse me. Say that again?
You're going to apply for an adjustment of status, and you're going to apply for a 212H waiver. For people who are eligible for a 212H waiver, which a gun possession you are eligible, if the conviction was less than 15 years, you have to prove extreme hardship. If the conviction was more than 15 years ago, all you have to prove is you're a good person today for the last 15 years. Much easier waiver. Because your conviction happened more than 15 years ago, your waiver is a slam dunk.
Okay, thank you.
You need help. Hold on 1 second.
Do I need a lawyer?
You better, yeah, you need a lawyer. You want to get a green card or you want to get deported? I mean, you have a conviction. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, that's like me walking into my gallbladder surgery over the summer. Excuse me, do I need a doctor to remove this gallbladder, or can I just kind of go right down my throat and just grab it out myself?
I've got a steak knife and a stomach. Does that
some alcohol.
Right? Do I need a doctor, or can Belgium Kim just basically do this for me? Let's go to Javello in Kingston. Javello.
Hey, good afternoon, Brad. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. What's going on?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Wonderful. Just a quick question here. A friend of mine, she's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, from Jamaica, right?
Right.
But she's there with her aunt. Her aunt is willing to pay her tuition for her to go to a school there. But her challenge is she want to know if she have to come back home to Jamaica to do the to get the visa for the student, whatever, to do it there.
Is she in status here in America right now?
Yeah, she's in status. Yes, she's in
How
status.
How long has she been here?
Maybe she's there like a month, going 2 months now.
Okay, so she wants to start school when? It's all a matter of timing.
For the next season that school begins, which will be about August, September.
Okay, yeah, so she would have to go home because she's not going to be able to extend her stay all the way to August, September.
Okay.
It's all about timing. It's all about timing.
All right, that's fine. So she just need to go to school and probably get some documentation to take back to the U.S. Embassy here in Jamaica.
Correct.
Correct.
Right. She needs what's called an I-20. Mm-hmm. But you're better off to go back to Jamaica as long as you qualify for the student visa and you can show that you can continue to show that you have ties back to Jamaica, because then she gets a visa and she can go back and forth as much as she wants, versus if she changes her status in the United States, she's just changing status. But if she wants to ever travel back to Jamaica, she would still need to go to the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. So you might as well just get it done now. Now, I know people who say, okay, I'm going to go back to Jamaica or other countries, Colombia, whatever country, Dominican Republic, I don't know, I'm just naming countries. And they came on a visitor's visa and then they get stuck and they get denied the student visa. So there's always that risk. So before she does anything, let's have a full consultation and see what's going on with her. All right?
All right, no problem.
All right, hold on one second.
Take care. Have a good
Thank you, Javella. Thank you. Let's go to Yvonne in Ferndale, Washington. Yvonne.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, I'm okay. So far, so good.
Okay, good.
Okay, I have a question. My husband went in and he failed his U.S. citizen test. Is there another way out for me?
He failed it? Why did he fail it?
He said what he studied, they didn't ask him what he studied, and he said he couldn't remember.
How long has he had his green card?
I think more than 10 years. It just expired last year.
How old is he?
2017. He's 71, 72 in that region.
All right. So these are his choices. He could wait till he's 15 years out. He'll get an easier test. Or study better.
What happened? I think the doctor gave him a letter and they said that was not enough.
What did the doctor write?
To go in. I don't know. So then,
what did the doctor write?
Lawyer. I don't know what the doctor wrote.
Okay, so let me explain.
When he went in with it.
All right, the lawyer. All right, let me explain. Okay, I know it's not enough. Okay, first of all, doctor has to fill out a form to show that he has a medical problem, why he can't remember or why he can't learn or why he can't take this test. The medical problem is that he is mentally deficient. He has a mental deficiency.
Okay.
Okay. And it's not enough for the doctor to say, in my opinion, he has a mental deficiency. The doctor actually has to give tests, medically, scientifically proven tests to show that he has a mental deficiency and therefore should be exempt from taking an exam. These tests cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to administer, but that's what would need to happen.
What happened when the doctor gave it to him? He got it at the last minute, so he weren't able to get a psychiatrist
the doctor,
on him because it was too close.
But that's fine, lovely, wonderful. But Yvonne, it's not. The psychiatrist saying, in my opinion, he can't take a test, was worthless. All right, you have to go through. It would really be either a psychiatrist. It would be actually a neuropsychiatrist, because you have to show you have a physical disability. Okay, nobody likes to use the term anymore because it's not politically correct. mentally retarded. It's not a politically correct, nice thing to say, but you got to. That's the level we're talking about, though.
Okay.
And you have to
So
show
is
it by
there another
test.
way out?
Yes.
For me?
The other way is study, or wait 15 years until he can take an easier test from the time he got his green card. Are you asking for Are you asking for yourself?
Yeah, for myself.
Okay, I didn't understand that. Okay, because I understood it that my husband got denied his citizenship, but really you're calling about I want to get a green card and I'm waiting on my husband to become a citizen. So the answer is let him file a visa petition for you now. He's a resident. He's allowed to do it. Just take a little longer, 2-3 years.
Okay.
All right, do it. Do something. Hold on 1 second. I can help you. Let's go to Anne Marie in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Anne Marie.
Hello, Brad. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you.
What's going on?
I'm just calling on behalf of my friend. Yes, her husband is a resident here, and he's currently filing for her I-130. It has not yet been approved. Still waiting. However, she is pregnant, and what she wanted to know is if she could come to the U.S. to have the child, or would that be a problem for her when she's going to do her interview?
Well, if she wants to break every law known to mankind for immigration, she can come to the United States and have a child. But they will never give her a green card ever in her life. Because, all right, so that is like the worst idea in the world. It's actually akin to like drug dealing now, giving birth in America on a visitor's visa, and coming here with the intent of doing it. I mean, they will never. It's almost impossible to get a green card these days when you do that.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if you see the. I don't know if you see the. I don't know if you see the news or not. But we got a president who's been screaming about this for 2 years now. All right.
I understand.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Let's go to Eddie in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Eddie.
Yes. Good afternoon, Brad.
How are you?
I have a friend that came up from Jamaica about 3 years ago. She overstayed, right? But then she went in with herself and filed a case of abuse, parent abuse. You ever heard about anything like that, Brad?
Parent abuse?
Yeah.
So there the parent was abusing, or she's a child and she was being abused by the parent?
Yes, right. She was abused by her parents, she said.
How old is she?
She's in 37.
So when was she being abused?
That's what I don't know, but what she did was she tried to do it, and then she got a letter in the mail that she had 33 days to leave the country.
Yeah, there's no such thing as adult child parent abuse. There is elder abuse when an elderly person is abused by their child or some other adult. There is child abuse if the child abuse happened before 21. There's spousal abuse, but there's no adult child abused by a parent abuse. Now, that's in terms of the Violence Against Women's Act, which is now just encompassed everything, But there is something called the U visa. So if the parents committed a crime of domestic violence against her and they were arrested and she helped prosecute that crime or assisted in the investigation of that crime, she can get a U visa.
Okay. Then here's the other question. She said, now that she got this letter, if she get married, will she still be able to file a green card even though she got this letter to leave the country?
If she came legally, yes, because the letter, I believe the letter, I'm not looking at the letter, but I believe it was just from USCIS saying you're denied leave the country. It was not, she didn't get put in deportation, get a notice to appear and have a judge order her removed. So at the moment, that's a worthless piece of paper to her and to the government. They can't, it's an unenforceable letter. So yeah, let her get married and refile before she actually gets put in deportation.
You got it. No problem.
All right.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
All right.
Let's go to Benny in the Bronx. Benny.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Pretty good. I have a question.
Yeah.
I came in the United States with internship, to finish an internship, and my visa was like a year. But in my visa, I have the 2 years rule,
Right.
And in the meantime, while I was here, like I got a girlfriend, a U.S. citizen, and like to marry her, But
you
like,
need
do I
to-
need
you need
to
to
go
rem-
back to my country.
Well, you need to
Or
remove
can
the
I
you need to remove the conditions of your permanent. Blah, blah. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. You need to remove the 2-year home residence requirement on the J visa. Now, what were you coming here to do? What was the purpose of you coming here?
Asylum.
Wait. You just said you had a 2-year home residence requirement on a J visa, or am I not understanding you?
Yes, but my visa expired, and like I registered for asylum.
Okay,
Like,
so
it's
you
been, like,
came
already
here. You
2
came
years
here
that
on
I'm
a. You
in
came here on a.
asylum
All right. You came here on a J visa, and then you applied for asylum, but you have a 2-year home residence requirement.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, where are you from?
The Republic of Kosovo.
Okay, so then you would need to file a waiver of that 2-year home residence requirement based on hardship, which is would be pretty straightforward, I assume, if you have a pretty decent asylum case. And then once you get that waiver approved, withdraw the asylum case, you have the waiver for the J visa, and then file your adjustment. All right, so hold on 1 second. You need a lawyer. Now I understand. Hold on. Let's go to Mohammed in Brooklyn. Mohammed. Sorry. Excuse-moi.
Little touchscreen.
Yes. Mohammed, how are you?
Like, deja vu.
Brad was good.
Good. What's going on?
I just have a question, man.
Yeah.
In 2006, February 2006, I came to this country. In 2016, June, I got arrested for having a BB gun. The charges was dropped to a disorderly conduct charge.
Right.
1 year probation. At this time, it's sealed and, everything went away, whatever. But would I be able to apply for citizenship?
When
caused a problem,
when was the arrest?
In 2016, June.
And it was dismissed and sealed?
Yeah, disorderly conduct.
Oh, is it disorderly conduct?
Yeah, they dropped it to disorderly conduct, yep.
I think you should be able to become a citizen. I don't think possession of a BB gun in of itself is poor moral character. Assume it's your only arrest. I would be I would be prepared to prove that you're a person of good moral character. They certainly can't do anything bad to you. I would file your citizenship, but be prepared to prove good moral character. And maybe you need a lawyer.
My green card had expired and everything,
So go renew it. Go renew it. It's fine.
I renewed it and I got it.
Yeah, of course, because it's a disorderly conduct. But just because you got your green card back doesn't mean you're going to become a citizen.
Yeah.
It just means that you're not going to get deported if they deny you because you don't have any deportable offense. You got to prove 5 years good moral character. I would go do it. I think having a BB gun and a disorderly conduct one-time offense, I don't think that makes you a person of bad moral character.
So I have to wait 5 years from 2016?
I just said go file it. But be prepared. Okay? You live in Brooklyn, come see me. Hold on.
All
right. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking and nobody's listening.
Yeah, it's not that no one's listening, it's that repetition is the key to success. You know how people say you have to hear something 7 times before it really sinks
Brad
in?
doesn't want to hear that. He don't like that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Repetition.
You just gotta keep
Repetition.
Name of the game.
Yes. It's like it's like yesterday when not yesterday because yesterday was Sunday. It was like Friday.
Yeah.
You weren't here Friday.
I wasn't.
I was.
Yeah.
He was.
When did we have this conversation? Maybe it was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
When I asked you, Kim, tell me I'm handsome 7 times.
Yeah.
And it finally sunk in.
And I had to keep saying it.
Brad,
and
you're handsome.
Number 8, you were like, wow,
I got
I'm
it.
gorgeous.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, now I understand exactly how I reacted. Right. All right, let's go. It's Samantha in Baltimore. Samantha.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
All right, so I have a question.
Yes.
I have a VAWA case pending, which I filed the I-485, the I-765, and the I-131.
Right.
However, I haven't got the work authorization or the travel document as yet.
How long ago did you file?
It was last year, but they sent a request for evidence. Until after then, I had to do the VAWA because,
All right.
my husband got abusive.
It's going to be about 5.5 months from the time you responded with the RFA.
So the thing is now, I have a daughter who's in Jamaica, who's ill, who I would like to visit. Is it possible that I could go?
No, not until you get the advance parole. You'll terminate your case.
Also, I have to actually have the physical advance parole in my hand?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know what was going on in the background, but that was loud.
Yes, it was.
Anuj in Jersey City. Anuj.
Hey, so I am calling. I am on an H-1B visa, and I have a I-130 family petition that was filed about 2 months ago. And,
what was filed 2 months ago?
I-130 and I-485 concurrent filing.
Got it. Okay.
And my employer is also in the process of filing my I-140. So I am not sure if I-140 is going to be of any use to me.
Zero use. You're going to get a green card through your spouse.
So I should not pay for the premium processing of I-140 because it's not going to be of any use.
Unless you think your marriage is going to break up in the next 18 months, no. It's going to be no use to you whatsoever. You're on your way to getting a green card through your marriage is the fastest way.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's go to John in Tomball, Texas. John?
Yes, sir. How are you doing today?
How are you?
Good. So my question is, right, so my dad filed one I-30 for my little sister in the Philippines who was about to turn 21 in May 13th.
Is your dad a citizen?
No, he's actually an immigrant, a visa holder.
All right. So your sister's going to wait a long time because she's going to turn 21. That's the problem.
Yeah, so in regards to that, like we still haven't got anything back from the immigration, like a receipt to track like the
How long has it been?
Filing it.
How long has it been?
It's been 3 months.
How did you pay? Did you pay by a check or money order?
Yeah, money order.
Money order? Okay, track the money order. Track the money order. Get a copy of the money order. Make sure that money order was cashed. On the money order, immigration will write the case number on it, and then you can track the case with the case number that they wrote down on the money order.
Okay. And another question, so what happens after she turns 21?
She goes on a waiting list for 7, 8, 9 years.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's all bad news, but that's what it is. Let's go to Al in Providence, Rhode Island. Al.
Hey, how you doing, Brad?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I have a question. I was asking, like, if I have a court date for next year, am I eligible to apply for a work permit?
What kind of court date?
Because I was married for 4 years, still legally married, but I'm in the process of a divorce. It's about 4 years now, and then my spouse was like on drugs and stuff like that.
What kind of court date do you have? Are you talking about a divorce court date? What is it that you are talking about?
No, not a divorce court date, immigration
You're in deportation?
Date. Yes, something like that, yeah.
Not something like that. Then wait 1 second now. You either are in deportation or not, and that's a big deal. It's not like, something like that. You're in deportation. Yeah. Why are you in deportation?
Because they say like there is bits and pieces that don't add up in the marriage. Because I wasn't willing to, because my wife was on drugs, and she was like going from house to house and stuff like that.
You got a bigger problem than worrying about a work permit. You don't even realize you're going to get deported soon.
Yeah.
All right, hold on 1 second, all right? Let's figure out how to keep you here, and then we'll figure out about a work permit. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. He wants to know about his work permit. The man's getting deported.
Gotta crawl before you walk.
That's right. All right. So let's go to Danilo in Miami. Danilo.
Hi, Brad. Hi,
How are
partner.
you?
Good evening. How are you? I'm all right, thanks. All right, so you guys did a successful waiver for me.
Oh, great.
And I'm now on my way to become a citizen.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Awesome. What I wanted to know, though, is I was thinking that I could actually do this on my own in terms of, but there is the factor of why you had to seek a waiver from me. So is it easier to come back to you guys to get it done?
Yes.
Not necessarily from the business standpoint, but from what makes sense.
It makes sense makes sense if I had to get you a waiver that you should come back to me to do your citizenship. Okay. Now you're in Florida. We can do it by phone. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Richard in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Richard.
Hey, Brad, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm calling for a friend. He just got married the other day, but his wife is living with her grandma, and she lost her job the other day. Is that a problem?
Who's living with grandma and who lost the job? I'm confused.
The wife lost her job and she's living with her grandma.
Well, first of all, she's got to be living with the husband. So that's the bigger problem. Not losing the job, because you can always get an affidavit of support. So that's resolved by, I'll get a second affidavit of support. What you can't resolve is when you go on an interview, why don't you live together as husband and wife? That's not a bona fide marriage. You can't fix that.
Okay.
So they got to live together. That's the big concern. Not that she lost her job, but they got to live together.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Let's go to Kevin in Brooklyn. Kevin.
Okay. Good day, Brad.
Good day.
All right. So my question is, my wife and I filed for adjustment of status, and we did it ourselves because my wife, she's not been feeling too fine, so we couldn't, afford an attorney at the time. So we filed everything and submitted the whole packet, and we got an RFE stating that we should bring the tax return. Now, I'm not too familiar with the tax return, but when we went to the IRS, what they gave us was the wages and income transcript. So it was an oversight. I didn't know the difference, so I submitted it like that again. And this time around, I got a notice of intent to be denied. And so we filed for the affidavit. We filed for the tax return, but my wife filed as single. So when we went to an attorney, he said that we are supposed to file as married. Now, I didn't have a socials, and when we went to the IRS, they said I should apply for an ITN and amend the tax. So we did that and amended it. But I'm scared and worried because my wife's illness has made her, her work, she's not been working consistently. She
So
works
get an
like
affidavit of support from a second person.
Yeah, I did, and we submitted that affidavit of support from a joint sponsor. I mean, he earns quite a lot, like 108.
So what's the problem?
I've been reading online that it doesn't matter if my joint sponsor earns enough that because of the present administration that the affidavit of support is meant to, curtail the way.
I don't know what you're reading, but you're reading nonsense. If your co-sponsor earns $108,000, the Immigration Nationality Act says you're entitled to a green card. You're 125% above the poverty level.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
All right. There we go. So go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't trust everything you read on the internet.
That's
right.
Amen.
Well, I'll tell you what you can trust.
What can you trust?
You can trust me, and you can trust Anna Azcona,
yes,
our Miami field correspondent. She gets real about Donald Trump's immigration rhetoric, which is what this guy was reading about, and the 2020 election, another edition of That Just Doesn't Make Any Sense.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Azcona. The Trump administration is trying to use fear to gain voters in 2020. Since Trump didn't gain the support from Democrats to fund his wall, he's now not aiming for the budget victory. His purpose now is to fight illegal immigration and make it a really big issue during his re-election in 2020. Since most Americans are not in favor of the big wall or the separation of families, Trump plans to manipulate them by using anxieties about immigration to win over the Midwestern states during his re-election. During February's State of the Union address, Trump said, "No issue better illustrates the divide between America's working class and America's political class." He also said, "Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards. Meanwhile, working class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Reduced jobs, lower wages, overburdened schools, hospitals that are so crowded you can't get in, increased crime, and depleted social safety net." He's basically forcing these group of people to believe that if they allow immigration, they're going to be paying the price for it. But obviously, Trump is only going to highlight the bad things, like the crimes, the gang violence, the expenses, and he's going to use images where it exaggerates the amount of immigrants crossing this country, and the ones who throw rocks and the ones who are violent, but he's not going to show the other side of it, which is those who are in need of help, those who are refugees, those who fear being killed in their homes, and that's why they come here. It's clear that Trump does not want illegal immigration at all in this country, and he plans to do whatever it takes to convince people that illegal immigration is a big issue. And if we allow him to manipulate us, he may get reelected, and who knows what the future of 2020 and so on will be like. With that said, I hope everyone does their research and see how the Trump administration has not been fair to those immigrants who have spent years after years working and paying their taxes, students without knowing what their future will be like because of their immigration status, those in detention centers without the proper care, and families who have been separated without knowing if they'll ever meet again. And that just doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
I agree.
it does not.
I agree. All right, so let's do something. We're going to do 2 parts of social media check-in today.
Ooh.
We get two
right.
social media check-ins because we didn't do a schmooze, so we're going to get more social media questions in. Before we go to social media, I do have to remind everybody about Instagram. It does exist. It exists for everybody on this table right here. You can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. As I told you, I spoke with Mia Montauk on Sunday. We texted each other for 10 minutes. She was telling me about the tornado warnings. We're going to start Brad Squad Patrol tomorrow. Is that what we're calling it? Brad Patrol.
I feel like that sounds like Paw Patrol.
Brad Patrol.
Right?
Is maybe not. I don't know. We're going to come up with the name.
I want us to keep brainstorming.
I think it's Brad Patrol. Wait, where is this?
It does sound like Paw Patrol.
It's Squad Patrol.
Yeah,
it feels like Police Academy 7.
Have you? There's a kids show called Paw Patrol, where it's these little dogs.
I like Squad Patrol,
things.
but we're gonna do it with Mia Montauk tomorrow. She was first in the comments because she was all excited.
Yeah.
We'll learn all about Mia tomorrow once Julian unfreezes the machine from the ice cream truck.
From the ice cream intensity.
Meanwhile, you can follow me on at Real Brad Bernstein. If you do follow me at Real Brad Bernstein, and I know you're part of the squad, just drop me a DM and I will follow you back. A lot of times I don't know you from here. You have a different name on Instagram, like Mia Montauk. I had no idea it was Mia until she told me, and now I follow her and we're buddies. Just like Cordella Douglas was texting me the other day.
She what? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So you can also follow at Bradshaw Live. You want to follow our show at Bradshaw Live, please follow us there as well. And Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, what do you got for Instagram?
You can follow me at Belgium Kim, and as soon as I get the sign off from my brother, you guys are going to get to see some of the amazing pictures that I took this weekend of some very exciting things that I was doing this weekend. Boom, make sure to follow Belgium Kim.
Yeah, and you guys could also follow me at Jonathan Elias TV. Yesterday I did a very, very fun field piece for Bradshaw Live, and you guys would have seen it if you follow me, so just follow me.
All right, we're going to do something we like to call social media check-in. And we do know, I see Levandi Tucker want to know if we're going to talk about the Notre Dame Cathedral. We were all set to talk about it.
We were.
That and everything else that was going on the news today. It's actually very sad what's going on with the Notre Dame Cathedral. It was built in the mid-century. It became famous from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it became famous from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That book was written in the mid-1800s. The church had fell in disrepair, and because of the enormity of that book and the famousness of that book, there it is. Notre Dame is on fire right now. The cathedral fell. They repaired it. Hasn't been repaired since the mid-1800s.
Wow.
So it's fallen in disrepair again. Now they have really, really important artifacts in that church. I don't know if they were saved or not. There is a nail purportedly used in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ in that church. There is a piece of the wood from the crucifixion in that church.
Really?
Yes, and I don't remember what they call what Jesus Christ wore on his
Yeah,
head.
like the thorns.
The thorns.
Yeah.
And there is a piece of the thorns in there as well as priceless artwork.
Mm-hmm. Right.
People's very famous crypts are in there. People,
oh my
were buried in there. Very famous people throughout the French history and kings. And that entire cathedral is up in flames right now. Could very well be destroyed. I don't know whether or not any of these artifacts. Hopefully they were.
I hope so.
And apparently, at first, I said, "Oh my God, it must be a terrorist attack."
That's what I initially thought.
But now I understand that they were starting to repair the cathedral, and it hasn't been repaired in almost 200 years. And apparently, the fire was set off by some faulty repairmen.
Right. It is 1 a.m. right now in Paris, and I just looked it up. The fire is starting to die down, and the French authorities have said that the two main towers that are kind of the most iconic part of Notre Dame are safe. And so the building itself is safe, and President Emmanuel Macron has already said that they're going to rebuild. So
all right.
But we don't know what's lost yet.
Yeah, so hopefully people are safe and they save the artifacts.
Yeah.
Because those are irreplaceable. We had a lot more schmooze we're unfortunately not going to be able to get to today, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention what was going on in Paris and Notre Dame. Yeah. As Mark Hicks says, priceless artworks, artifacts, other stuff as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other stuff was, but that's the basics of what I know at the moment. Whatever schmooze we missed today, we will get to tomorrow. Absolutely. I promise you. Our show kind of went out of order today because we had a little problem with our ice cream truck, but we'll get it all fixed tomorrow on Frozen. With that said, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
Our first question is from Instagram from Cynic Devashin, who said, "Thank you so much for your honest insights and encouragement. I've been so worried for the last few days. My husband overstayed his B1, B2 for over 5 years. We've been married for the last 2, and I just started his adjustment of status. I consulted with a lawyer, and we submitted his documents last week for processing. 2 days ago, we were stopped by a police officer because my husband did not have ID. The police gave us a hard time, and I'm really scared. So I'm wondering, his B1, B2 is still valid, and I'm wondering if that can be used as a form of ID until we receive a receipt from USCIS to actually go to the DMV for a driver's license and a state ID. We're in Jacksonville, Florida. And do you think that since we've been married for over 2 years, he's going to get a permanent green card instead of a conditional?"
Yes, he will get a permanent green card instead of conditional. He should walk around with his passport, and when he gets the receipt notice from immigration that he has a pending adjustment, he can walk around with that receipt notice too. He won't get deported, I assure you that.
All right, on Instagram, we have a question from It's About 4 a.m. saying, "What's a good or impressive amount of money a sponsor should have in their bank account?"
$75 million is pretty impressive to me.
That is pretty impressive.
Right? Would you say that's impressive?
I think that's pretty
rich man impressive, right?
Yes.
But I mean, I guess USCIS would also be impressed by that. Yeah, that's true.
But under the law, under the Immigration and Nationality Act, you have to be, it has nothing to do with the amount of money. It has to do with your income. And your income has to be 125% above the poverty level. What you can do is take money that you have in the bank, but you're going to have to show that money was in the bank for a substantial amount of time, like over a year. And you can take 20% of that and add it to your income if your income is below the poverty level. So, for example, if you can demonstrate that you had $100,000, 100,000 US dollars in a bank for 12 consecutive months, and that money was earned legally, you can take 20% of that and add that to your tax return. So that would be $20,000 in income.
All right.
Tarzir said, "How long after getting the request for additional evidence do you hear back about your green card case?"
Request for additional evidence?
Yeah, so it sounds like they got an RFE.
So it sounds like you filed something, you totally screwed it up, they sent you an RFE, so when you responded to the RFE, it's as if the case is starting from the beginning.
Yikes.
So you're going to wait a while.
All right, Yaya2929 on Instagram says, can a green card holder get food stamps, etc., or will that affect them? If so, how?
A green card holder can get food stamps for sure. It may affect the person who gave the affidavit of support for that green card holder.
If someone was married in an Islamic ceremony and then got married again in another legal ceremony, is that enough to get the green card?
Sounds it.
Tone TDs on Instagram says, how long does it take for a citizen to file for unmarried? My papers have been in since 2012.
Citizen to file for who?
Unmarried person.
They're right now processing December 2011.
So soon.
Soon.
Noon said, I'm in the process of removal for a small drug conviction from 1994, which originated out of New Jersey and in which I pled guilty. I was not guilty, but I was informed that pleading guilty would automatically make me deportable, or I would have pled no contest. How can you help? Secondly, can a motion to vacate cancel the process of removal?
You have a green card, I assume?
It sounds like it.
And his conviction was in 94.
Correct.
He would be eligible for 212C waiver, so usually you win those, especially if it's a small amount of drugs and you have a clean record since. But you could also make a motion to vacate, but if it was in New Jersey, just because I know this, you have to make the motion to vacate within 5 years of the conviction. So if the conviction was in New Jersey, you're out of luck. If it was in New York, different story.
All right, James Campbell says, hey, Brad, can you still file for a 440 if...
That's the motion to vacate.
Okay, if it was in 2001.
Yes.
Ma, 4664
Boy,
said...
Oh,
all new people.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're getting some new people.
Said, my U.S. citizen wife studied in Malaysia and, currently studies in Malaysia and will move here and transfer to a U.S. school in 8 months. I am on a F1 STEM OPT and we're applying for AOS. Would not living together be a problem? And what's the EAD timeline like?
Yes, it's a problem because actually your U.S. citizen wife isn't even in the United States, and the whole idea behind you adjusting is to join your U.S. citizen wife in the United States. Right. So you got bigger worries about what the timeline is for the EAD. So your wife should come back from Malaysia, number one, and the timeline's 5.5 months.
All right, JS says, if I came on a B1, B2 visa and stayed after my third entry, which was a month after getting the visa, I married a U.S. citizen, and I'm in the process of an AOS. Is it safe for me to travel on AP? Or would they think that I had intent of staying because I stayed?
I think we answered that question. That guy called.
Was it?
Yeah,
it sounded like it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, so he came on a visitor's visa. He got married on day 92. He filed an AOS, which is adjustment of status. Mm-hmm. The AP is the advanced parole. We got to know all the lingo here, and he's okay to travel. We answered that question, I think, the guy called earlier.
Legs11 Tag said, I filed concurrently the adjustment of status on September 18th. Unfortunately, I misrepresented myself on a VWP. I've also accrued 2 years of unlawful presence, and my passport is expired, and I've been asked to go to the UK consulate. What do you think I should do?
I think you should need a lawyer, because if you have misrepresentation and you have a 10-year bar, you're going to need lots of waivers at the UK Embassy for the United States.
Baby Voice Grant says, Brad, my case is at NVC. If I do not change my passport in my married name, will I be able to get my green card in my married name, or would I have to do a name change on my passport?
Do the name change in your passport, because the green card's going to come on the name in your passport.
We've got a question from Al Messina, who said, I have my interview for my I-360 that was approved, but I lost my passport and is from Venezuela. Would I have an issue?
You need some sort of photo ID to prove you are who you are. I don't know what's going on with Venezuela these days at the consulate, if they can give you a passport because of all the chaos going on in Venezuela, but you need to show some sort of identification somehow.
All right, Glamma has a question saying, good evening. I was asked the difference between C09 and C31, as if I'm an immigration lawyer or something. May you please explain for me?
C09? Mm-hmm. Isn't that carbon dioxide?
Yep.
And C31?
C31? I think that was the seat I was on coming back from Paris. 31C, yeah.
I was in 6K.
You were 6K?
That's crazy.
Oh.
I got nothing.
All right. They're talking about the different sections of law on the I-765 on what you're supposed to submit. C9 is for adjustment of status. So when you file the I-765 and you put down C9, that means that you're filing for adjustment of status, and that's why you're entitled to the work permit. Now, C31, if my recollection is correct, I could be wrong because I haven't memorized every section of law of the Immigration Nationality Act.
Really?
But I believe C31, if I think long and hard about it, is the section of law that says I'm entitled to a work permit because I got an approved VAWA petition.
Employment authorization, yes.
Yes.
I believe that. Hold on.
C31.
C31. I'm seeing the C's.
Is it? You have to look. I think it should be on VAWA. All right. So the difference is this.
It is?
Yes.
It is on VAWA.
Thank you. So the difference is this. Okay. If you were abused by a U.S. citizen spouse, you should not be only filing an I-360. You should be filing an I-360 and an I-45. And you should put down C9 on the work permit. The only time you're ever going to put down C31 is when you have an approved I-360, is when you mistakenly just filed an I-360 without the I-45. You waited 2 years, got nothing, and now you got an I-360 approved. Now you would do C31. But for basically, every person who files an abuse case should be doing an I-45, an I-360, an I-765 based on C9. There you got it.
Awesome. All right. You want to go to your next segment?
First Lady Hewitt, first of all,
Yeah.
says she's at the Ross store, and the entire store is listening to the best live show in the world with me. The entire store, they have closed it down.
I love me some Ross, so I'm really happy we penetrated the Ross dress for less section now.
All right, where's my paperwork?
Where is your paperwork?
I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is.
Boom.
All right, so Spar Bernstein immigration attorney Abadir Barre. By the way, we're going to come back. We're going to come back for a second round of social media. So,
That's right.
So stay tuned, Ross Store. We got more in store for you. Get it? Ross Store, more in store for you.
Attention shoppers, Brad Line coming right back at you.
Red light special in 15 minutes. That's Walmart, isn't it?
Yes,
Walmart.
Kmart.
All right, sorry, Ross Store. I didn't mean to. Spar Bernstein immigration attorney Abadir Barre is joined me earlier today to discuss how we're working to help our viewers who have been waiting for their green card interviews. We get this question all the time. What should I do when my green card takes too long? What should I do when my work permit takes too long? I've been waiting a long time for my green card. I went for an interview. They didn't get back to me. How long should I wait?
Right, yeah.
We get that all the time.
All the time.
So a lot of people have been waiting for a long time for the outcome for their green cards. Let's watch Abadir and I discuss what to do. A green card or a permanent resident card is evidence of your lawful permanent residence in the United States. Being a lawful permanent resident of the United States allows you to work in America legally. It allows you to live legally in America for the rest of your life if that's what you choose to do. Now, before a person gets their green card, if they're living in the United States of America, they need to have an adjustment interview. The adjustment interview is your green card interview. It allows the officer to interview you to determine if you're a person of good moral character, and it also allows them to determine whether or not you're eligible for the benefit that you're applying for, which is your green card. Many times people are eligible for the benefit they're applying for because they're married to a citizen, whether the parent of a United States citizen or the child under the age of 21 of a United States citizen, but then find themselves inadmissible because they fall within a category of people the United States deems not worthy of living in America, whether because you have a criminal record or have some sort of health issue or you've lied to the government in the past. Regardless, people should have their adjustment interviews within 6, 9, 10 months of applying, because an adjustment interview should be granted to you within a short period of time because you're eligible immediately for this benefit, which is the green card. You shouldn't have to wait years and years and years for the benefit in which the law says you're immediately eligible for. I have Abadir Barre here in another edition of Abadir Sues the Government, who is a federal litigation attorney and he's here to tell you what you need to do if your adjustment interview is pending more than 12 months. Abadir, let's start off with a green card. Tell me what the green card is. What does it look like?
It's a permanent resident card. Officially used to be green, and then it changed colors, and now it's back to being green. So it's termed the coin, green card. But it's your legal permanent resident card. It allows you to stay in the United States lawfully. It allows you to work, to travel outside the United States and return. And it gives you pretty much all the benefits except applying for elections, jury duty, that are reserved to citizens.
The only thing that you can't do with a green card is you can't vote.
Right.
Can't be on a jury. You can't be the president of the United States.
Correct.
Short of that, I don't even think you can be a congressman or a congresswoman.
Yes, you can be. Yeah, you cannot.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I don't even believe you can be a police officer. So there's certain jobs that you can't have either.
Yes.
Okay. So, but besides that, you're pretty much the same as a U.S. citizen. Now, when you apply for your adjustment of status, the government will only accept your adjustment application if the green card is immediately available to you.
Correct.
So if a green card is not immediately available to you, meaning that I filed my adjustment application on January 1st, that means on January 1st, I am eligible for that green card. Correct. I am eligible on January 1st to be a lawful permanent resident of the United States.
Correct.
What happens when the government says, okay, we're going to accept your application, you are eligible to be a permanent resident of the United States, but now we're going to make you wait 3 years to be a permanent resident? A, why is that happening? And B, what should we do about it?
Well, first of all, it's happening because this administration claim it's a backlog, but previous administrations are moving on them much quicker. They just don't want to give more immigrants lawful permanent resident status. What people fail to understand is Trump is not just after illegal immigration. He's after legal immigration. And he's done many things that have circumvented the policies and procedures to curb legal immigration. And this is one of them.
So when Trump says he's all in favor of legal immigration, he's against illegal immigration, that's also not true.
That's
hashtag fake news.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So this orange guy, he's against legal immigration?
Yes.
Because he has to be. Because if you're eligible for a green card in January 1st and they make you wait 36 months for a green card, that's not being eligible for a green card.
Absolutely not, yeah.
That's a long time.
That's long. And like I say, a visa delayed is a visa denied.
That is exactly right. I like that line. I'm going to use that. A visa delayed is a visa denied.
The old adage is justice delayed is justice denied. A visa delayed is a visa denied.
Yeah, because a lot could happen in those 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're married. Your spouse passes away. You get into a fight with your spouse. They no longer want to sponsor you, but you are eligible on that day.
Yes. And I want to point out to people that they say that it's 18 months or it's 20 months. But think about this. When you get your medical, how long is it good for? 1 year. Because it's supposed to be processed within that year.
Correct.
But now people are left to do their medicals over and over.
Or at the time of their interview. They don't even bother. You don't even bother filing your medical anymore.
Because it's taking much longer than a year.
So now somebody who's waiting more than 12 months for their adjustment interview, they should have been granted under no other administration. Not under Reagan, not under Bush the First, not under Clinton, not under W, certainly not under Obama. Did anybody ever in my career wait more than 12 months for an adjustment interview until Donald Trump. Okay, really it should be 6 months.
Yes.
That should be the goal of their processing time. It should be 6 months for adjustment, it should be 6 months for naturalization.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes it went 9 months, 10 months, but over 12 months, when you're eligible immediately for that benefit, and they're telling you got to wait 3 years for a benefit that you're immediately eligible for, that is a violation of every tenet of the Immigration and Nationality Act.
Yeah, and he's doing that purposely because he doesn't want legal immigration, especially family-based legal immigration, and particularly legal immigration from people that are outside of the countries of like Norway and Scandinavia, but outside of that.
So if somebody's waiting more than 12 months for their adjustment interview that they rightfully should have gotten within the first 12 months, what do you do?
File a mandamus act.
We've talked about this in multiple episodes before. Tell us again, what is a mandamus?
A writ of mandamus is a lawsuit to the federal courts, because immigration is federal law and the federal courts have jurisdiction. And that act gives the federal judge the power to mandate USCIS to discharge their non-discretionary statutory duty of processing the application. So, in other words, it's layman terms for saying they have to give an up and down vote on that.
It's a federal judge saying to a lower administrative body, make a decision.
Yes, and it's an order.
And you better do it because it's a federal order. You'd be in violation of a federal judge.
Right.
Now, what do you say to people? Because I know there's a lot of people out there, they say, Brad, listen, I'm married. I don't want to fool around with the government.
Yeah.
I want to live here for the rest of my life.
Right.
I'll just wait. I don't care if I wait 10 years. I have nowhere to go back home. I'm not suing the government to go get deported.
Yes.
That's not happening.
Right.
What do you say to people like that?
The exact opposite actually happens. When you sue the federal government, it makes sure that your application is properly processed, because now they have more eyes on them. They have the superiors at USCIS saying this is what they call a litigation case, so they take special care of it. They have a federal judge overlooking it, and if they screw it up, we're back in federal court saying it was improperly denied.
So really, it actually adds protection to it, because a lot of times people say, hey Brad, do I need a lawyer to go with me on an adjustment interview? And I say, absolutely. Why do you need a lawyer to go with you on an adjustment interview? The lawyer's not going to be answering any questions. The lawyer's just sitting there. So why, you're going to be the one answering the questions. The reason is because you're in a box with an immigration officer who has total power over you. And there's nobody in that box looking at that immigration officer.
Yes.
You could look at that immigration officer the wrong way and the officer could say, you know what, I don't believe it's a real marriage. You're denied. I don't think you have good moral character. You look left instead of looking right. Immigration officer can do whatever they want because there's nobody overlooking and nobody hearing what they're saying to you and what you're saying to them. That's why you have a lawyer there.
Yes, to protect your rights.
To protect your rights. Now, when you sue them in federal court, not only do you have a lawyer there to protect your rights, you also have a federal judge overlooking them, making sure that they better follow the law.
Right.
So as a matter of fact, it's added protection, not less protection.
Yes. Yeah.
Because people have in their mind, well, if I sue them, then they're going to screw me and I have nobody there to protect me.
Yes.
But as a matter of fact, you have a lawyer and a federal judge who ordered the Immigration Service to do your case, protecting you.
Right. I'll give you an example. So I had a case one time where we went in, they denied the medical. I ended up suing in federal court. We came back, we did the interview again, and then the officer was trying to still give them a hard time and all that. So I just told the officer, you know what, you can write whatever you want in your notes, but you better stand by those notes. Because if you don't, I'm hauling your ass into federal court and I'm going to depose you. And you better have an explanation for why you denied this. And it better be a legal basis. The next day,
so what happened?
Approved.
Right.
The next day. Because they don't have a legal basis to deny. She was mad, she was whatever, she didn't, like my client, she was prejudiced. But at the end of the day, she thought to herself, do I want everything I'm writing in this? Do I want a federal judge overlook? Do I want to be in federal court? I'm a civil servant. I don't want this kind of
Do you know how many times clients have come into me and said, I went on my adjustment interview by myself, I don't think the officer liked me and denied me? It happens all the time.
Yes, yeah. You need an attorney with you at your interviews, and then having a lawsuit puts them on the spot to properly adjudicate your application. Otherwise, you can just wait for years. And like I say, a visa delayed is a visa denied. So things will, you think you're okay now, but you're not in solid footing. So tomorrow, if it's marriage-based, you and your wife can have problems. I've had issues where sometimes the petitioner passes away, right? And then if the I-130 and 45 people file conjunctively, and if the I-130 is not approved, then we can step in for reinstatement. I've had tons of those cases, and those cases are actually the ones that are waiting the longest, where you just mentioned, Brad, where somebody has gone through immigration court, their case was terminated. Typically, this was in the Obama administration. After it was terminated, so the immigration court terminated their case and said, go to USCIS to do your adjustment interview. And it got remanded to USCIS. It stayed with USCIS for years, and just got shelved somewhere in storage. 3, 4, 5 years later, they've come to see me, said, what can I do? In those cases, I filed pretrial litigation, and they say, oh, well, we just forgot about it. Imagine that. You think you're waiting because immigration is backlogged, but then you realize, no, they threw your case in some shelf and forgot about you for 4 years. And you could have had your green card earlier, and by having your green card earlier, you also could have applied for citizenship earlier too.
True. And you could have, and then maybe voted for someone other than Trump.
Right.
Okay, now, let me ask you this question. How long do these lawsuits take from the time that you get hired to the time you file a lawsuit to the time is it going to be another year?
No.
Is it going to be another 9 months?
Weeks.
Weeks.
Between
not even months. You're counting weeks.
Weeks, yes.
To finish up your case.
Right.
Give me an example of literally weeks.
When I file these mandamuses that have been sitting around for years, start to end is less than 6 weeks for them to get the interview.
So it's basically, people call this show all the time and say, Brad, how do I expedite my case? I'm tired of waiting.
Yes.
This is what you do.
Yes, yes.
And it's actually better because now you have a federal judge and an attorney overseeing to make sure that the Immigration Service follows their rules and follows their regulations.
When you file, and usually it doesn't even go all the way through litigation, but they typically will get you your interview within a month. And then I set up the case, it takes me a couple weeks, so 6 weeks. less than 2 months tops.
So, Abadir, let me ask you this question. Okay, people out there, they've been waiting for more than a year.
Yes.
What happens if they don't live in New York? They live in California, they live in Florida, they live in Georgia, they live in Alabama.
Yes. Well, like
Can
I
you
said,
still handle
yes,
it?
we can, because immigration is federal law, so the federal courts have jurisdiction. So I just sue in whatever jurisdiction they live in.
So all 50 states?
All 50 states.
You can call Abadir?
Yes, correct.
And what do you tell people who are waiting more than 12 months for their adjustment interview, who are tired of waiting? What do you tell people who have family members who are tired of waiting and they've been waiting for more than 12 months? What do you tell them to do?
I tell them call ASAP. Why would you want to keep waiting for years for your application to be processed when you're immediately eligible for a visa?
So now, Abadir, let me ask you this question. Okay. Now, there's another group of people.
Right.
Now, those group of people are people, they've gone on their adjustment interview. Because we have a whole other group of people who've gone on their adjustment interview and nothing has happened.
Yes.
Now, by regulation, when people call on my show,
yes,
and they say, Brad, I went on my interview, when am I going to hear a decision? I tell them you got to wait 120 days, wait 4 months.
Yes.
Because they have, by regulation, they got to give a decision in 4 months, and if you haven't heard anything in 4 months, give me a call.
Yes.
That's my general rule.
Right.
What do you say about that? Is that right, wrong, and what should we be doing after 120 days?
After 120 days, they're eligible to file a mandamus claim.
It's because the rule is you have to have a decision, thumbs up, thumbs down, or schedule me for a Stokes interview.
Right.
One of the three.
One of the three, right, correct.
Within 120 days.
Yes.
And we have people who are waiting 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years.
Right. Those are the most egregious, where you just have people who've completed their interview. Actually, typically it happens to people who didn't take an attorney to the interview in the first place. And then after the interview is completed, they don't need the USCIS maybe didn't even give them the notice. But for those of you that have gone, you'll see there's a notice that says we've held your case for review. And if you look at the bottom of it, it should say the regulation for 120 days. So 120 days passes. If you haven't heard anything, it's 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 10 months, a year, and everything has been done, then you need to file your lawsuit.
And when you call, you're going to be filing a mandamus action, and we're going to be resolving this very, very quickly.
Yes.
Now, the telephone number to call Abadir is the same telephone number as it is to call our show for your free legal advice. It's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. I do have to remind everybody that prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome, but if your adjustment application has been pending for more than 12 months, and you're tired of waiting, tired of this BS, then you can call Abadir, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. He'll file a mandamus. You'll be getting an interview. Thanks, Abadir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody. We're going to go to our second social media check.
All right, we got our first one back from Rudra New Pain. And the question is, hello, Brad. My question is, now that...
Say it very slowly.
Yeah, I'm trying to say it slow so you can fix your stuff. Well, as Brad is fixing this stuff, actually, we can talk about sharing. All right, guys? The show's almost over, but it's still not too late to share. So everybody share. We love that you guys share, and we love the interaction that you guys have been giving us as well.
All right, we're ready to go now.
All right, now, Rudra saying, hello, Brad. My question is
when it rains it pours, yo-yo. When it rains it pours.
Can I travel to my country in India while the I-360 is pending with advanced parole?
If you have the advanced parole, absolutely.
MS says, hey, is there a website I can check to see if the U.S. government knows my 10-year bar has passed so that when I go for my interview, I feel assured that they know it's over?
There's no website.
All right, Jessica Leamy says, if you're waiting 8 months for an EAD and SSN, after doing the biometrics when filing under VAWA, must one be concerned? I'm asking for a friend.
Concerned about what?
Concerned that you're waiting 8 months for the EAD and SSN to come after doing the biometrics?
Yes, that's a concern. It shouldn't be that long.
Ooh, so your friend should be calling Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly said, my cousin lives in the Caribbean and married his citizen girlfriend in 2017. But they refused to grant him a visa because the wife was not calling or texting the husband often, so they thought the marriage was fake. The wife went 3 times to the Caribbean, each time spent only 3 days. They interviewed the husband and told him that the wife needs to come to the Caribbean. She did come to the interview, but later on they sent the husband a letter saying that they can't grant him a visa. What can they do?
You got to prove it's a real marriage. It's a bona fide marriage. They're having problems doing that. They should come see me and then we'll figure it out. I think probably refile again.
All right, Grandma has another question. As you mentioned RFE, is it true that if the same is issued, this sets back your case?
Yes.
Funny Video said, good day. Should I get a divorce and get remarried if my husband is verbally abusive and refuses to attend the interview?
I can tell you to get divorced. I don't know anything about you. Should I get divorced?
Let's frame it in the context of
just for immigration purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for immigration purposes.
Brad the Love Doctor.
So
not in today.
I like to hear from the husband's point of view. If he's abusive, you shouldn't live with him. And if he's not going to show up to an interview, then, obviously he doesn't love you. What are you doing with him? There I am, Brad the Love Doctor.
There you go.
Right.
All right, Nicole Rogers said, will it be easier to hire a lawyer to help with your papers, and does it mean you'll get your papers much easier?
Serious? You're asking a lawyer if you know hire a lawyer. Kim, when I was going to have my gallbladder out, I was considering just, having you do it.
And I was gonna. I was ready, Brad. I have a pocket knife with your name on it.
But then I decided to hire a doctor who knew what he was doing.
Saved you at the last minute.
Saved me at the last minute. There's your answer.
Junelle Della Calzada said, yes, my dad filed an I-130 for my sister who is about to turn 21 on May 13th, but we still haven't gotten anything from immigration except for a receipt of some kind to check the
Is this
status.
John from Texas?
No.
Junelle.
From Texas.
Does not say from Texas.
Because I think I spoke to a John from Texas who had the same question.
And she turns 21, still no decision?
Yeah.
Good.
Go for it. Cammie Campbell says, afternoon, I have a pending I-360 filed with an adjustment. I haven't received my work permit or travel, but they were filed. Now, I have a son in Jamaica who is ill and requires surgery. Is it possible for me to return?
Also spoke with her. I said, you got to get the advance parole.
Okay.
Y'all, don't do both. You really throw me and Jonathan off. Jermaine, let's hope that this is not asked already. My friend got his 2-year green card in August of 2016 and filed to remove the conditions in March of 2018. He received an 18-month extension, and now we are past that extension, which ended in March 2019, but he still has not yet received his 10-year green card. How much longer do you think he has to wait, and does he not need to worry about it? He's never gotten in any kind of trouble. He doesn't have a problem. He just now has an expired extension.
It's a 2-year process, and you could get an extension by going down to immigration, making an info pass appointment. They'll put a stamp in your passport, but you got to figure it's going to be over 2 years there.
Okay, Trudy says, if I'm married and don't want to change my name, can I file for my husband the same way?
Yes. It's a modern world. You don't got to change your name.
Okay.
Bradford Hicks said, hey, Uncle Brad, I'm the petitioner for my husband, and I just had a quick question. For the hardship waiver, do I need to submit my siblings' documentation for the form, so their birth certificate?
For the hardship waiver, you need to prove there will be extreme and unusual hardship to your spouse. That's what you need.
Natasha said, hey, Brad, I missed this show last week.
Oh, we missed you too, Natasha.
Yeah.
Natasha who?
Natasha Baburam.
Natasha Baburam, of course.
Of course. Natasha Baburam.
Right. We missed her too. We miss everybody.
Of course.
Yes.
Anyways, anything on Viola, is it reauthorized back? If yes, can I file an application?
Go file it. They're accepting applications. It's funded through the end of the year. I am sure between now and September it will be extended.
And our last question of the evening comes from MS, who says, I've got a 3-inch neck tattoo of a feather. Should I cover it with makeup during my green card interview to avoid gang affiliation suspicion? That's a new one.
I don't think, I don't know what a feather and a gang, I don't know what that has anything to do with anything.
I think it's just that tat on your neck, period.
On your neck, yeah.
Is,
just be who you are. If you're not a member of a gang, don't worry about it.
But would that, like, you know, just appearance affect?
I think appearance definitely affects. You shouldn't show up like you're, just came from, 3 days of, partying, on a beach somewhere in flip-flops and I don't know, whatever you would look like. You don't want to come disheveled.
Right.
You want to come dressed nicely.
You want to look polished.
Right.
I think, but naturally people do judge you when you have a neck tattoo. So do you think that's probably why they were asking that? Because I have friends too that have neck tattoos, and they feel like they do get judged. When they go to interviews, like job interviews, they'll cover it. So maybe that's why they're asking.
Yeah, then cover it if you feel more comfortable. Yeah, I mean,
it would depend on the person.
Yeah, is this the U.S. citizen or the person getting the green card?
He's the person getting the green card.
Cover it if you feel more comfortable. There's no right answer.
If it's going to make you feel more confident in the interview, you know?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
That was a good question.
I don't really have an opinion on that. I just think be who you are. You have a neck tattoo, you got a neck tattoo.
I think it's a thing that we don't talk a ton about is like exactly how you present yourself.
Presenting yourself is really important.
And that's
dressing nicely is important.
I thought that was a really good question.
I thought that was too.
Thanks for the question.
Lisa Bling-Rose just says you should just put on a really big wig.
Okay.
Lavandi Tucker said just don't have a teardrop.
Yes.
That's probably a good plan.
The crazy thing is, like teardrop or not, just having a tattoo anywhere up above your neck is
that show
people
that
judge. No, they
it doesn't
just
show
judge.
you're gang affiliated.
It doesn't, but that's what
I don't even know what a feather means.
It's
Maybe
just
I'm
a
out
tat.
of it.
It's just a tat on your neck.
Yeah.
So
you did it.
You can have a heart. You can have a kiss. You can have a Chinese symbol, but people will judge you. So
Glamma, I actually really like Glamma's advice. She said prevention is better than cure. I would cover it because they can be mean.
There you go.
That's right.
That's what I think.
Just the sheer, even if it's a tiny little likelihood that someone's going to end up discriminating against you just because of the way that you look, then you can cover that up. Then cover it up. Right?
Okay. I can't disagree with that.
Just make sure the makeup matches.
Yeah. Don't be.
And don't start sweating, and all of a sudden the guy goes, "Is that a tattoo you have over there?" Yeah. Don't wear a turtleneck. Yes.
That's a tall turtleneck. If you're in the
why are you
middle
wearing a
of
turtleneck
summer.
in July 15th?
You're in New York. It's 98 degrees.
All right. So let's do something we like to call comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Abigail Taylor Watson saying, Professor Brad, I'll have a seat at the back of the class and get the notes from one of the on-time students later. I guess she came
Sounds
late.
like me in college.
Yeah.
That's how you just described me in college.
Sheesh.
I don't want to admit that, but I never showed up on time to any of my classes.
That was definitely me in college.
Was that you in college
because,
too?
Listen, after being so strict in time, for high school, you had to be there on time or else you got in trouble. And then I go to college and they don't care.
Yeah.
I used to stroll on in.
You know what I used to do? It's sad now. I used to stroll in halfway through and take somebody's notes because I would always sit next to somebody who I knew took exactly what the professor wrote.
Right.
They had no idea what the professor was talking about, but they wrote it down verbatim.
Right.
And then they would give it to me, and then I would explain it to them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it worked.
That's
so
a
we
good
had
little.
a good little trick there.
Yeah.
Man, I was always just the asshole who gave my notes to people and got nothing back.
And I was probably the one that took the notes.
The person was smart. They're like, I'm going to give it to Professor Brad. He's going to explain to me what I'm writing here.
We're really a good mix, you guys. We're really a good gradient. I'm so sorry. That was me.
Yeah, that was by the way, you know what that just sounded like? It reminded me of Austin Powers. When he's gonna threaten the world with $1 billion. They're laughing, and then all of a sudden they just stop laughing.
Right.
I do that actually.
And we're like, we gotta move on.
Right.
Our second comment of the day is from Jessica Kalimi, who was the only one because we didn't get to talk about it today. I have lost 8 pounds. #Brad challenge.
Look at Brad's face.
Yeah, me.
Wait a second.
8 pounds.
8 pounds. It's only been 3 days.
Big girl, that is unhealthy.
You are not eating at all. You're starving yourself.
Damn.
Or you're living in a hot box. I'm not sure what. I've only lost 3 pounds. We're not going to be able to do it today because Julian took the TriCaster into the ice cream truck.
Right.
But tomorrow we're going to go through it all. And by the way, one of the things we want to do tomorrow, everybody, is if you are doing the Brad Challenge, because we were going to do it today, but we just kind of got stuck in the beginning. But if you are doing the Brad Challenge, please DM Kim.
Yep.
And we're going to announce on Wednesday, I think, how everybody's doing, because it'll be the end of the first week.
Correct.
Yes.
So you can DM me at Belgium Kim on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can even DM Brad Show Live, and I will get it there too.
Awesome.
You know what I also noticed? Lisa Bling Rose always likes to leave during comments of the day. She doesn't like to stay to the end.
How dare she? She's so often.
Because she gets comments of the day, and she never stays around for it.
See, we're not going to give you your comments of the day.
You know what?
No
From now on, no more comments of the day for Lisa Bling Rose. Unless I know she's staying to the end. I wouldn't do that to her. If she has the comment of the day, she has the comment of the day.
That's the new bad boy room right
bad
there.
Boy, yeah.
All right. Our third comment of the day comes from Sexy Shan Myers saying, OMG, Brad. God put you on this earth for a flippin' reason. You saved many people's lives. That's why we love you so much.
Oh my
Comments
God.
get you everywhere in life. Comments. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a woman or a man.
Sexy Sham.
Oh, Sexy Sham.
Oh, Sexy Shan is Shani Bay Smith.
Shani Bay Smith.
Yeah.
That's right. I love Shani Bay Smith.
We love Shani Bay
Yes.
Smith.
I love me some Shani Bay, right?
Who doesn't? And our final comment of the day is from Christine Bennett, who, to the caller who read the wrong law, she said, stop reading and start listening to Brad Show Live.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to take the ice cream truck around the block. We're going to defrost it. We'll be back tomorrow with a full schmooze. We're going to be back with our Squad Patrol.
Right?
Yes.
All right, new segment tomorrow, Squad Patrol.
Hashtag Paw Patrol.
Woo, woo. What? Hashtag what?
Paw Patrol.
It's not Pot Patrol. What are you
Paw.
talking about? Paw Patrol? No, it's Squad Patrol. Squad Patrol. I like that. We're going to be back with new segment, Squad Patrol, tomorrow. We're going to be back with Brad Challenge, the updates on everybody and myself. Wednesday, of course, is Hump Day, and we're going to be anybody
Tomorrow's
who
not
wants.
Hump Day.
Everybody. I said Wednesday will be Hump Day, and on Wednesday for Hump Day, we will be announcing. How everybody's doing in the Brad Challenge after 1 full week. So make sure you DM Kim. We'll see you all tomorrow, and be well, everybody. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?